I want to take a quick walk outside while I do this video. If you've been watching my channel for more than a day, then you know how much I love to help people, to give information that's going to help people that go through the land buying process. And on today's video, I'm going to have to tell you an uncomfortable truth about manufactured homes. I've been through this process before and have actually sold a manufactured home and actually made money on it, while most people will tell you that you're not going to. I'm going to tell you the way that you will make money on your manufactured home. And that is by making sure that you own your own land that you put the manufactured home on. With that being said, I will never buy a manufactured home and put it into a park. I say the absolute same for the tiny home as well. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why this is so important. Bear with me. Let me tell you why this is so important. Let me go back and give you a little history about my family, where we came from. So there are several reasons that I say don't put your home in a manufactured home park. Okay, so hear me out. I know for sure that all manufactured parks are not created equal. I know that. We actually lived in a manufactured home community. And let me tell you what the difference is. Number one, we owned the land in the community. There was a minimum of half-acre lots out there for sale. And so we owned the land. There were no renters out there. If you were going to be out there, you were going to have to buy the land. You were going to have to install your septic system. There was a community well, so that we didn't have to have that added expense. But we had to clear the land, first of all. We had to install our septic system on the land. And we had to put our own homes on the land as well. Nobody was going to do that for you, because there was nothing for people to rent out there. That was one of the great selling points of that community. There was nothing for people to rent. And what typically happens is people take better care of their stuff when they are buying versus when they're renting. And so we had competitions out there. Everybody was making sure that they had the best yard. The competition was stiff too. You had all types of people from all different walks of life. There were nurses and doctors out there. There was an architect who lived down the street from us. And that was our stiff competition, because that architect also knew how to design for his yard. And he had a fantastic yard. Our yard was great, but his yard was fantastic. And I absolutely love the fact that there were so many people from all different walks of life who were out there. There were military people, there were mechanics, there were realtors, there were blue-collar workers, there were salespeople. There was a wide variety of people who came out there to buy. I can't tell you how many times that we were out working in the yard, just making sure that our yard stayed great. We were out there planting flowers, food, trees. We were doing it all because we wanted a nice place to live. We had double wides, we had triple wides and single wides sitting out on the lake. It was just a beautiful scenery, and it was so peaceful. Nobody ever had to worry about locking up things. And we had one couple that was next, that bought 2 lots right next to us. And that couple would go away and visit other continents for months at a time. And they would come back and their stuff was just how they left it. They didn't worry. We didn't have to worry about people rummaging through your stuff if you were gone, watching your patterns and all of that type of stuff. The people were happy to be there. They were happy to have a place to call home. that was also affordable. We had one neighbor, they lived in their motorhome. They had just been traveling all over the US in that motorhome, and they were retired. And so they were able to live in their motorhome. Before they did anything, they put up a humongous workshop in the back of their property so that they could sit back away from the road, have their manufactured home sitting there, have their huge workshop out there, because he was very handy, but he was retired and he needed a safe place to put his things. Never had any issues in this place, and we really enjoyed life there. But if we were going to break those generational curses, we had to sell. We always knew that we couldn't get too attached to any one location because we were going to have to sell in order to get money that nobody else was willing to give us. And the next thing, and it was so important, is that no one could increase the price on you. When you move your manufactured home to a park instead of to private land, they can do whatever they want with that lot rent on you. If you still decide that you want to do that because it's a more affordable option at the time than buying a piece of property, then make sure that you have it in writing that you can move your manufactured home at will. Whenever you get ready to, you can move your manufactured home, and you don't have anybody locking you into a contract that says you have to stay there for a certain number of years or either stay there forever. So make sure that if you are already there, go back through your paperwork and you look for that. You make sure that that is a part of the deal, that you're able to get out anytime that you get ready to move. And since this is a very affordable way to live, you can be using this time to save to buy a property. And your property does not have to be 20 acres. Your property can be a 1/4 acre. It doesn't have to be huge. It can really be a modest piece of property, because we're here on 20 acres, but we're only sitting about maybe the first 2 acres back. We haven't even cleared all of the land. And so that type of stuff will come over time. But in the meantime, the affordable living allows us the opportunity to save money so that we can clear more land and so that we can get a second or a third home to go back here for our children, or just help them out in getting a septic tank for their house or whatever. When we were at the RV park, we paid $400 the first month. We paid probably like $775 the second month. That third month, we paid $800. And then after that, when I went to renew, it was $1,200 in order to stay there. And so that's one of the reasons, and so that's the main reason that I'm saying, if you can find yourself a piece of land, it does not have to be large, go ahead and find yourself a piece of land and just make sure that you're not being taken advantage of. They have the right to increase whenever they get ready to increase. And so I just want to make sure that you really think about it. If you can't move right now, listen, I believe strongly in the power of prayer. Trusting God to make a way for you to be able to get out of there if you want to get out of there and have your own land. To be able to just walk around on my land, nobody bother me, nobody question me, nobody try to figure out what I'm doing here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing here, and give you 3 seconds to leave, because this is my land. This is a place of peace for my family, where they can walk around and feel comfortable about where they are, and they don't have to worry about anybody bothering them or anybody trying to run them off, because this is ours. This is what we sacrifice for our children and our grandchildren. And so I hope that you receive this with love, and you know that anything that you want, you can have. You got to change your mind. You got to believe that you can have whatever you want. We're not done yet. See that cabin over my shoulder? Finish that cabin eventually. Got our skirting put on today, but we have a structure now. We did 2.5 years in the RV, And we are just blessed and grateful. And we know that we can have whatever we want if we only believe, and we only know that God will give you the desires of your heart. We downsized a lot. We're minimalist living now, and we found a very nice house that we love, and we are just going to enjoy our life to the fullest. And I want you to be able to do the same without somebody continuously raising prices on you. So that's all this video was about. It's about making sure that you have a choice. Check behind yourself, read your paperwork, read your lease agreements, read all of that stuff, and find out if this is going to be a situation where you can start saving to buy your own land so that you can move your home to your land. Yes, it's going to cost money, but every physical thing in life costs some money. And that's okay, because we make ways to do all the stuff that we want to do. When we want to go on vacation, we make a way to go on vacation. We want to go to concerts and all of that stuff, we make a way to do it. And so we can make a way to do this as well. I hope this was helpful. Share, like, and subscribe with the notification bell turned to on so that you'll know each and every time I upload a video. I hope you share this out with your friends and your family, and they can really get something out of this. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.